Well, restoring order to some of Chicago's neighborhoods, that's what a group of parents would like to see after their children have been the victims of ongoing violence. WGN's Julian Cruz is going to introduce you to a group known as Parents for Peace and Justice. Take a look.
Elizabeth Ramirez felt the despair of losing her only son in 2011 after he jumped in front of a gunman to save two others. The crime remains unsolved, but instead of letting sorrow consume her family, Ramirez decided to do something.
They're not getting involved for one simple reason. They're scared.
Elizabeth Ramirez knows the fear felt by too many across Chicago. Your child is dead, cut down by the madness of street violence, with the ominous realization that the gunman, still at large, probably lives in your neighborhood, evading justice.
These are mothers that have lost children to violence, yet there has not been any justice yet. And, you know, their voices need to be heard.
I want them to feel safe in their backyard.
Ramirez refuses to be silent, speaking out via community radio, peace rallies, and prayer vigils. This fearless woman has dedicated her life to reducing violence, becoming a voice for grieving mothers across the North Side and elsewhere, whose numbers are greater than you might imagine.
I'm here, yes, because I want justice for my son, but at the same time, I want peace. And it's not about us, it's about the children. We want them to live in a better world.
He was his mother's joy, Henry David Rodriguez, going on 23, a great kid with a passion for sports and plans for the future, studying to be a coach. Then 3 years ago, in a terrible instant, his surprise birthday party turned to anguish.
When he looked towards the kitchen, he saw someone with a mask.
Henry saw the gunman before anyone else. Witnesses say he lunged in front of the weapon, shielding his cousin and her son from harm, laying down his life for them. From that supreme sacrifice came inspiration to prevent future tragedies, and Parents for Peace and Justice was born.
We started off with just 2 mothers, and it's grown to any given time we'll have, 14, 15 mothers, and many other people that have been to our meetings.
Robert Torres helped Elizabeth convene that first gathering, providing a support group for grieving mothers like Jeannie Hernandez.
Our hearts are broken. We want answers. This is an everyday fight. Why did this happen to him?
Jeannie Hernandez had nowhere to turn when her beloved oldest son, Lino Diaz, was murdered as he pulled out of his Cicero garage to go to work. 2 years after the killing, police still don't have a suspect.
We want justice. We want justice for our children.
These courageous mothers have inspired others, including a young gangbanger.
I was able to ask him, why are you involved in gangs? And the first thing, there's no love in my house. I felt that I needed to give him that hug. I felt that God was using me in order to go to him and hug him, and we were able to speak.
The extraordinary encounter led to ongoing dialogue and remarkable transformation.
3 weeks later, the gentleman called her and says, I got good news, because I gave my life to God and I'm no longer in gangs.
Elizabeth Ramirez, one of Chicago's very own. Ramirez and her group say not enough attention is paid to violent crime on the North Side, where shootings occur every weekend too often without making headlines. Julian Cruz, WGN News.